Good evening and welcome to Hornet Arena on the campus of Bryant High School. Tonight, it is the 6A girls basketball state quarterfinals featuring the Har-Ber Lady Wildcats and your Conway Lady Wampus Cats. Jeff Matthews and Levi Gilbert with you. Thrilled to be here. We talk about this every year. It's really one of our favorite events each year, and we've seen it even in the time we've been here. A thrilling game that went overtime prior to this, which is why we're on the air about 40 minutes later than we had planned. But it's a great time of year, great environment, and we're excited about seeing these Lady Cats who have got an addition on the court that they haven't had in a few weeks.
Yeah, some really great news for your Lady Cats tonight. Jaden Thomas still not available, but the freshman center, Savannah Scott, is dressed out tonight. She is not going to start, but she is going to see action, and that's just what you need at this juncture. No better time for your starting center to be back.
State quarterfinals, the winner will face Bentonville. Bentonville defeated North Little Rock earlier this afternoon, 62-45. That Bentonville team is 26-1. They're led by junior Miriam Dowda, who had 29 points today, and Savannah Scott's presence and Haley Malcolm and everybody else you can put around her is going to be obviously what you have to do. But that's Saturday. That's Saturday. Tonight, it's all about Springdale Har-Ber, and this Springdale Har-Ber team comes in with a 21-7 record, 21-7 overall. They did struggle, though, in their game yesterday. Their first-round game was against Mount St. Mary, and it was 43-37. They actually went out to a real big lead at the beginning of the game, but then Mount St. Mary battled back, and Har-Ber had to hold on to get the win.
That's why it's so important for these Lady Cats to come out the gates, get off to a fast start, and knock down some shots. Don't let Har-Ber feel like they're going to get into this game early. Remind them how yesterday went and remind them immediately from the start.
These teams played back in November 29th in the Slim Chickens Thanksgiving Classic. Lady Cats got the win, 73-57 that game. Their best player is Kaylin Coons, number 5. Maddox McCracklin, Sophie Nelson, Kanaya Starks, and Cassius McDaniel are the other starters for Kimberly Jenkins and the Har-Ber Lady Wildcats. All right, here come your starters for the Lady Cats. There's Lydia York, the 5'4 senior, averaging 5.8 points a game. Jada Pickens, 5'5 senior, averaging 12.4 points a game. There's the freshman, Chloe Clardy, averaging 21.8 points a game and leading this team in steals and rebounds as well. Senior T. Rector, averaging 4.4, but my goodness, she does a lot on the basketball court for this team. And then starting at center, and we've seen her start the entire second half of the conference season, is Haley Malcolm. Haley is 6-foot junior. When she started the starting part of her season, she was only averaging like less than 2 a game. I mean, not even a basket a game. She's got that almost 5 points a game now. She's not scoring a tremendous amount, but she is playing some really, really key minutes. And
she's coming off her best offensive performance of the season. Last Friday night, right here in this arena against Bryant, she had 22 points.
The winner gets Bentonville, and the season continues on Saturday at noon. For the losers, the season comes to an end. Opening tip is controlled by Haley Malcolm, but it is caught by Cassius McDaniel, and Har-Ber has it to begin the game. Lady Cats have not played in almost a week. That last game you mentioned was last Friday here in this building. Chloe Clardy is going to be whistled for the personal foul, and there will be 3 free throws coming.
And we talked about this a little bit on last night's broadcast, the Wampus Cats game. Just the advantage of having just been here Friday. It was a great environment. It was a playoff environment on that Friday night as both Bryant teams trying to climb up the seedings. And so Conway, they come in tonight. They've already experienced that. It gives yourself an opportunity to not come out with jitters in this first game for the Lady Cats.
Kanaya Starks will get 3 free throw attempts following the foul on her 3-point attempt. Hits the first, misses the second, and makes the third. So the Lady Wildcats on top early. Lady Cats have their first offensive possession. Lydia York, Jada Pickens are the seniors that are out there, along with that freshman, Chloe Clardy, Haley Malcolm, and T. Rector. T. Rector also a senior. And they do not want to see their careers come to an end any more than any of these Lady Cats want to see their seasons come to an end.
Think about all the experience Jada Pickens has playing in state tournaments as a senior. It's a lot.
I was looking back over the last few years. Last year, this team, their season ended in the semifinals. So the Saturday games, if you will. The semifinals, a loss to Bentonville. The year before that, it was a loss in the finals to North Little Rock. So these seniors have been around, a lot of success. Jada Pickens, who has gotten hot lately, knocks down the three-pointer. Lady Cats take a 1-point lead.
We mentioned Malcolm's 22 points against Bryant Friday. Pickens led the way with 24. It's a great time for the senior to get hot offensively.
Clardy gets her hand on it. Conway coming back the other way. T. Rector ends up in the hands of Haley Malcolm. She'll find Chloe Clardy. Clardy dribbles between the Lady Wildcats. Charge. That is not good news for the Lady Cats. Their leading scorer has 2 personal fouls in the first a minute and a half. It's going to be Kalena King that has to come in.
It's always one of your biggest fears when you get into a state tournament action like this is early foul trouble can disrupt a game.
The 6:30 mark of the first quarter. Chloe Clardy and her 21 points. Going to have to be on the bench for a little while next to Coach Hutchcraft. That's Kuhn. She's their best player. Good pressure on the baseline. Shot is up and it's no good, and that is 3 early fouls called on the Lady Cats. That one's on Haley Malcolm.
Almost 2 minutes into this one, all of Har-Ber's points have come from the free throw line.
A miss there by Patience McDaniel. She is a 5'10 freshman. She scored 11 points when these teams played back in November and scored 11 yesterday against Mount St. Mary in their first round victory. We're tied at 3, couple of minutes into tonight's game. State quarterfinals, Jada Pickens in the lane. Can't get it to fall. Kalena King. Good job on the offensive rebound for Kalena King. Keeps possession, and the basket's good by Malcolm. That's McDaniel. In the corner, Starks. Ball tipped. Lydia York got a hand on it. Coons controls it. And another foul. They'll get Lydia York. That is 4 team fouls in the first 3.5 minutes of this game. Correction, 2.5 minutes of this game.
Well, the Lady Cats doing what they always do defensively, playing a really frenetic pace. But just a little bit too much here in this first quarter.
That's Coons, the double team. There's another one on Lydia York. So 2 starters in less than 3 minutes have to go to the bench with 2 personal fouls each. That brings in Maya Boxley. With 5 minutes to play in the first quarter, this is not the lineup that you would think would be on the court, but the foul situation is forcing the hand of Coach Hutchcraft. Maya Boxley draws the foul. It'll be on Kuntz, I believe. It will.
Well, and the way this conference season went, especially that second half when you were down 2 starters, we've seen sophomores like Maya Boxley on the floor a lot more than we expected. And we said it at the time, it was going to be good experience to help get you prepared for this moment.
Boxley misses the first free throw. Second one is true, and it's 6-3. Lady Cats on top. Offensive rebound, Nelson. They'll kick it out Three-point attempt misses everything. Starks comes up with the loose ball. Too far underneath for Nelson. Loose ball. Har-Ber keeps it. Three-pointer by Starks, no good. Out of bounds, going the other way.
These Lady Cats I used the word frenetic earlier, but it's also forcing Har-Ber into a pace that's probably not what they want to be playing.
That's a great move by Jada Pickens. Draws the defender, finds Haley Malcolm wide open on the block. Haley puts it in confidently, and the Lady Cats are on top 8-3. This Har-Ber team is the 3 seed from the West. Last year they only had 2 conference victories. That personal foul on Jada Pickens, 6th team foul. We're not even halfway through the first quarter yet. They only had 2 conference wins a year ago. They were 2-12 in conference play. Turned it around to a 10-4 season this year, and that 3 seed from the West. That's McDaniel to Coons for 3. Good look at it, didn't fall. Malcolm with the rebound. Jada Pickens, T. Rector. She'll take that shot if it's open. And she will draw a foul on Patience McDaniel.
Lady Cats haven't had many opportunities yet shooting outside on the perimeter. Most of the offensive game has been in the paint.
Galatia Andrew checks in. Malcolm to Jada Pickens, deep 3. Jada Pickens practically on the wings of the Hornet. Knocks it down, 11-3. Lady Cats on top. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Court.
30-second timeout.
So the Lady Cats up against it because of early foul trouble. Chloe Clardy had to sit down with 6.5 to play in the first quarter. Lydia York followed her to the bench about a minute later. But Jada Pickens, she's doing her thing, knocking down a couple of three-pointers. And that last one was a deep 3. Brought a timeout from Kimberly Jenkins, head coach for Har-Ber.
It's just one of those situations for Coach Hutchcraft where this is your team. This is what it is.
That's
this
right.
is how they play. Fouls have been a little one-sided so far, but you can't really stop playing the way you play. It's just the way these Lady Cats play.
Coons misses the shot. Foul will be called on Kaylin Coons, and that is her second. So their best player now has 2 personal fouls. She is a sophomore. Scored 24 the first time we played. She scored 21 yesterday. And their first round win over Mount St. Mary. Another good dish. That's Kalina King that time to Haley Malcolm. Malcolm, the beneficiary of some great looks from her teammates.
And it's been there every Lady Cat possession so far.
Steal. Jada Pickens draws the foul. It will be on Maddox McCracken. So we have played 5 minutes and we have had 10 personal fouls called on a game that started 40 minutes late anyway.
Just thankful we're not the last game.
I know. Yeah, there is still. Yeah, I just saw my buddy Steve that broadcast for Cabot. He stuck his head over and said hi. And it's like, yeah, y'all got a late night tonight.
Late one tonight.
Yeah, the next game is scheduled to start at 8:30. Well, that's in 35 minutes, so that's probably not going to happen. Jada Pickens hits them both. She's got 8, and the Lady Cats are out to a 15-3 lead. Three-pointer on the wing, no good.
Har-Ber over from behind the three-point line.
That's Andrew. Helena King got a hand on the skip pass. It will stay on this end.
And they've been able to build this lead, Jeff, without their freshman leading scorer. She's been on the bench for several minutes.
Well, and then even Lydia York, she's averaging almost 6 a game. So you got 28 points that are on the bench. Also, oh yeah, 2 other starters that are on the bench in Jaden Thomas and Savannah Scott. So this is putting it together the best they can, and they are doing it right now. 15-3 lead.
And a lot of credit has to go to Jada Pickens and what she's been able to do.
8 points.
Just really all conference season, all the pressure that's been on her with these 2 starters out.
See Coach Hutchcraft coaching them up. 3-pointer. They remain 0 for beyond the 3-point line. 15-3. T. Rector will cross the timeline.
They're now 0 for 5.
From the elbow, got it. That's a shot that you make because you've shot 1,000 of those since last summer. That elbow jumper, pull up, stop, shoot, make those in an empty gym, then you make them in the state tournament also.
And that possession right there for Har-Ber is exactly what I'm talking about. These Lady Cats, the pace they're playing, they're forcing Springdale to do the same thing, and it's just not their style, and they're not getting the shots and attempts that they were hoping for.
That's going to be on Galatia Andrew. So that is their 5th. And so Jada Pickens at the line. A chance for Jada here to get into double figures in the first 6 minutes of the game. She's got 9.
6 of those points coming from the 3-point line, 1 of them from the wings of the Hornet. It's got to be one of my favorite Jeff Matthew calls of all time.
Well, I appreciate her pulling up from there because it had to be said. That's what she did. 10 points for Jada Pickens. Lady Cats up 19-3 in the first quarter. This will be the 7th team foul. This one's on T. Rector. That's her first. And so free throws the rest of the half for Springdale Har-Ber. We do want to remind you, as we have in the past, that you can chime in tonight. And I know last night there were a lot of you chiming in on the YouTube chat. Thank you for doing that. Please feel free to do that. We might see your message come up here on the screen. Also, you can tweet at us. You see the Twitter handle there at the top, 5 Sports Live. On Facebook, find us just at 5 Sports. There's Zachary Clifton. Let's go Conway. You can chime in as well. Love hearing from you and letting us know you're. I know a lot of you were waiting for the game to start.
Right.
So thank you for being patient with us and sticking around because it's been a good start for the Lady Cats. Maya Boxley for 3. Got it. Timeout Har-Ber. It is 22-4. Lady Cats pulling away here early. Timeout on the court, 30 seconds, and we're back on Conway Court.
Located on Robinson Avenue next to Laurel Park, the Conway Regional Rehabilitation Hospital is one of only 4 licensed inpatient rehab hospitals in the entire state. Patients are cared for by specially trained staff under the direction of an on-site physician who specializes in rehabilitation medicine. Conway Regional Rehab Hospital, your choice for comprehensive care to bring you one step closer to home.
Lady Cats gathered around Coach Hutchcraft. Now this is a scene you wouldn't normally see. You got Chloe Clardy standing there outside the huddle. She hadn't broke a sweat. That didn't get to do much at all. She played a minute and a half and had 2 fouls called on her, and so she has had to be off the court. But man, what a great start to the game. 22-4, Lady Cats on top.
Yeah, Maya Boxley hitting that big 3 before the timeout. I wish you could have seen her face, Jeff. She comes to the sideline and just had this I don't even know how to describe it. She was just exasperated. It was great. This is a sophomore that we've seen hit those shots in JV games this year, who has had to move up. We haven't even been playing JV games anymore because of the lack of depth. Now she's hitting shots like that in the state tournament.
Maya Boxley, big basket right before the break there. 22-4, Lady Cats on top. 1:20 to play in the first quarter. Turnover. Going to come back the other way.
Our good friend Kathy Estes checking in on Twitter. Let's go, Lady Wampus Cats. We love Wampus Cat basketball. They do for sure.
They do as much as anybody. And did you hear the week that their daughter, Haley Estes, had? First team GAC conference selection. Lex Tollfree, a first team all SEC conference selection. And I know Jordan Danbury was it maybe second team academic? I'll find it for sure, but it was something. All three of those ladies with honors this week.
When you talk about one, you got to talk about all
you
three.
Do.
And they're all doing amazing things at each different team that they're on.
Well, and the way that Jordan's journey has gone, all three ended up with senior years the same year. And I know we've talked about that. You had a great article about them about a year ago now,
A year
right?
ago, yeah.
And to watch what they're still doing. Lex had 30 points today in the first
game
of the SEC tournament against Auburn. A lot of good things happening with the Lady Cats alumni and also with the current batch. 22-4. These Lady Cats playing a great first 8 minutes.
They got their 22 points. They're happy to just
88-point pace.
run this thing out.
As we stand here and watch them run the clock out like this, it's worth noting that the 6A athletic directors earlier today voted in a shot clock for next year, next basketball season. At the highest level of basketball, there may be others, but at the 6A level, there will be a 35-second shot clock.
I saw that news, and I thought that's going to have absolutely zero impact on these Lady Cats.
Whistle and a foul. They burned the entire clock down. Malcolm gets a shot. She draws the foul, and with 0.3 of a second, she will get a chance to shoot free throws. There is an injured Lady Wildcat. That is Mary Blake Martfield, who they are going to help off the court. Daly Hamilton will check in. Both teams have been whistled for 7 personal fouls in this first quarter. There's Stephanie Pickens watching my baby Jada Pickens from Colorado. Go Lady Cats. Your baby's had a great first quarter of the game. Scored 10. 23-4 with 0.3 of a second to go in this first quarter. The winner of this one gets Bentonville. The Lady Tigers are 26-1, and they will be a handful for whoever gets them on Saturday. So far, sure looking like the team that we root for. Conway on top, 23-4. We will take 60 seconds and come back with the second quarter next on Conway Court.
DeBoard Electronics, a trusted name since 1952, is located at 650 Dave Ward Drive, 2 miles west of I-40. DeBoard Electronics offers state-of-the-art options to customize your Yamaha golf cart or your Polaris side-by-side and even your boat. With cutting-edge products, you will look good and sound good when you're cruising the water. So enjoy your time on the lake listening to your favorite tunes thanks to DeBoard Electronics, 650 Dave Ward Drive in Conway.
This is my home, and here's my hot water heater, located right above my living room. And here's the mess it made when it leaked. Really leaked. Kind of throws off the ambiance, don't you think? Well, I stayed calm and called the experts at All Clean Restoration, so here it is. My living room before the water damage, and my living room after. Or as I like to think, my living room before All Clean, my living room after All Clean. All Clean Restoration, proudly serving all of Arkansas.
23-4 is the score, and the news right now is that that young lady has checked in. Number 42, Savannah Scott, the 6'3 freshman, seen her first action since she went down against Bryant at the end of the first cycle of conference games at the end of January.
Yeah, I got the word from Coach Hutchcraft this morning that she was not going to start, but she would be playing. And you really got to think, especially the way this first quarter has gone, that these are some tune-up minutes for Savannah Scott to get her ready for the important game on Saturday.
In the first 7 seconds, Lydia York knocks down a three-pointer. She comes back in, and Coach Jenkins calls a timeout. We'll keep it here. It's just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here for just a moment. So Savannah Scott, just to share that point again, freshman, we started the year talking about her and Chloe Clardy, both freshmen. Great experience in the summer circuit. Obviously no experience on the high school level, being as they're just now 9th graders. But they were both. Chloe's obviously continued on and played at a high pace. Savannah was doing some great things. She was averaging 7.5 points and 6.5 rebounds a game against some really, really difficult competition.
Yeah, and she hasn't played since late in that first Bryant game. So you're talking 7 games ago or 8 games ago. She hasn't seen the court for these Lady Cats, and her presence in the paint is just so important. You saw after she went out, the Lady Cats went on a 3-game losing streak. That's what her absence meant for this team.
Well, Haley Malcolm has done a fantastic job in her place at 6 foot, but Savannah just does some special things inside. At 6'3", the space that she takes up, she's got a great way of finding open space. Right now, she's open in the lane. Experienced post player for the Lady Cats. Again, not experienced at the high school level, but experienced just on the basketball court, and you see it right there. What this team can do when they can get the ball into her makes them very, very dangerous.
And it's not even so much what she's going to bring to the table offensively. It's really what she brings to the table defensively that they are going to need if they can get to the semifinals on Saturday.
She is a rebounding machine. Even missing these 7 games, she's still second on the team in total rebounds to Chloe Clardy.
Wow.
28-4, all Lady Cats so far. We're a minute in to the second quarter. Kaylin Coons, she scores.
And those are the first points that didn't come from the free throw line for Har-Ber.
And the first points for her, and she scored 21 yesterday, and she scored 24 back in November when these two teams met. Savannah Scott at the line to shoot 1-1.
This has been the perfect scenario for these Lady Cats. You saw how Har-Ber struggled yesterday against Mount St. Mary, a team that they were heavily favored to win against. They just let them hang around in that game for so long. And for the Lady Cats, you really wanted to come out, get on them early, and just let that doubt seep back in.
In that game yesterday, Har-Ber, it's going to be on T. Rector. That's her second on Tiana. In that game, Har-Ber went out to a 14-1 lead after 1 quarter of play. Only allowed 1 single free throw to be made. And then the way that Mount St. Mary played those last 3 quarters, they made it obviously very tight near the end, but Har-Ber able to pull away.
I think they even tied it up at one point.
They did. Second free throw is good. It's 28-7. That's a football score. 6.5 to go, first half. Jada Pickens, take it. Oh, goodness gracious, that was almost from the stinger. I wanted to make one from the stinger, Levi.
Well, that one almost went in.
Yes, it did. I really think the best chance for her to make one from the stinger is going to be in this half. I don't believe that even with her range that she would shoot to the other basket from the stinger.
Yeah, I think that's an accurate assessment.
Okay. 28-7. Free throw's good. 28-8. This is the top half of the bracket. As we mentioned, Bentonville won earlier. The winner of this game will get the Lady Tigers on the bottom half. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, Northside will take on the host Bryant Lady Hornets. And then the later game tomorrow on the ladies' side, 7 o'clock, Fayetteville and Cabot. Cabot winner earlier today against Van Buren. York. The pass into Savannah Scott. Kicking it back out to Pickens. Scott. Bodies everywhere. Foul is called on Pacious McDaniel. Kimberly Jenkins, head coach for Har-Ber, disagrees.
She's flustered, to say the least.
That is a true statement, yes. So Savannah Scott at the line, and free throw attempt here. She missed the front end of a 1-and-1 earlier in the quarter. Shooting 2 this time and makes the first.
Yeah, Coach Hutchcraft said she's not going to start, but she's going to play a lot of minutes. And we didn't even see her until the second quarter.
So, buddy Landon Dunn. Let's go Lady Cats. Landon needs to go check the end of last night's game. There was a really good close-up of Landon Dunn at the end of the bench after the Wampus Cats won that game. You should check it out. Not now, but after the game. Scrub to the end and look for yourself.
I was pretty spent at the end of that game, I'll be honest.
Three-point basket is good by Starks. Whistle and a foul. Technical foul called on Coach Jenkins. That is going to be the third on Patience McDaniel.
Well, what a job by Jada Pickens. They led her with the pass, and then she turned on those jets to get past her defender, get up in the air, draw the contact. She's going to shoot the technical free throws and then get to shoot, or is it the other way around? She shoots. Which free throws does she shoot first?
I am not 100% sure. I do know that our camera operator, Maggie, down there, that's her shot, just had a great shot of the head coach, Kimberly Jenkins, for Har-Ber, of which you could almost see the veins popping out in her neck. She's very unhappy right now.
Yeah, she is. Well, I said flustered earlier. It's about as far as I can go.
32-12, and that's a tough spot, real tough spot. And you hate it for them. They've had a great year, 21-7, and then they've run into a rested, focused Lady Cat team.
And let's just say for a minute how important that win against Bryant was on Friday by enough points to get you to this point where you could have this bye game, because it wasn't a given going into Friday night's action.
Chloe Clardy back in. The dish to Malcolm, can't get it to fall. Jada Pickens with the steal. Lydia York for three. Second one that she's hit as she's come back in the game following early foul trouble.
It's just so impressive, Jeff, what these Lady Cats have done. 0 points from Chloe Clardy, and they've been able to put up this kind of offensive performance.
They've scored 36 points in a quarter and 3 minutes. You will see a lot of games in this tournament and others around the state where teams won't score 36 points. Off the glass and in. Hamilton.
I was talking to Stats on the way up here. I mean, this is what makes this Lady Cats team so dangerous in state tournament action is they play great defense. They're constantly coming at you. But if that three-point shot is falling anywhere near their season average or above, it's just so hard to keep pace with them.
Stacy Bates, keep it up, Cats. And you can join the conversation. 5 Sports Live on Twitter, 5 Sports on Facebook, or join the YouTube chat. That is going to be the third on Lydia York, so her night is all about threes. Where's number 3? She's hit 2 3-pointers, and now she has 3 personal fouls. And I'm afraid she's going to have to sit maybe 3 seats down from Ashley Hutchcraft. Because 3 personal fouls, 4.5 to go in the first half. And she will have to come out of the game. Kalena King is going to take her place. Well, what a spark. Not that they needed a spark. Things were going pretty good, but to have Lydia York come out and knock down those 2 3-pointers like she did, momentum is all wearing Conway blue right now.
And again, just to reiterate, Chloe Clardy, your leading scorer on the year, hasn't had to score a single point for these Lady Cats to build this kind of a lead.
It's T. Rector. Clardy, baseline. Draws the foul. Kanaya Starks whistled for it, and Chloe will go to the free throw line. She is a 74% free throw shooter on the year, averaging almost 22 points a game. And remains scoreless. It's got to be frustrating. Amped up, ready to go, first state tournament game as a freshman. And a minute and a half in, you've got to come out of the game. And you're amped up all week, ready to go, all day, ready to go, warm-ups, ready to go. And then it all had to stop. She'll get going. And she'll still be a huge factor, you know. Steal, shot, follow, good by Haley Malcolm. Haley's got 9.
I'm sure it has been frustrating for Clardy, but on the other hand, it's amazing what her teammates have been able to do offensively.
Absolutely. And it's going to take an effort like this on Saturday. If they do win and they do face Bentonville, they're going to have to put a lot of points up on the board to beat Bentonville.
Fouls at number 15, Sophie Nelson.
Nelson whistled for the foul. Free throws upcoming. We have talked often about this 20-point plateau. We've talked about it for years. 20, 40, 60, 80. If you're scoring 20 points a quarter, you're going to, cut down a lot of nets. And what you're finding here with the Lady Cats is they're one free throw away from matching that 20-point a quarter mark with still 3.5 to go in this quarter. 40 points on the night, 40-15 with 3:28 to go. Thank you for the tweets and the Facebook messages. Thank you for the YouTube chat, encouraging these Lady Cats. And we will have a game tomorrow for you as the Wampus Cats play their quarterfinal matchup. They'll take on a familiar foe in North Little Rock.
I think the Wampus Cats are due. They've played 6 really great quarters against North Little Rock, 2 not so great quarters. They just both happen to be the fourth quarter.
Right.
I'd like to see them get a complete game against those charging Wildcats tomorrow.
Kalena King, three-pointer, too strong. Savannah Scott's back in the game. She and Haley Malcolm on the court together, so an interesting lineup here for Coach Hutchcraft. Three-point attempt is no good by Starks.
And that might be a defensive combination you might get to see a lot more of on Saturday.
Rebound to Chloe Clardy. Out of bounds, going to stay on this end.
Well, it really just couldn't have worked out any better in this first half because you want to get Savannah Scott on the floor, but you don't want to have to get her on the floor.
That's correct.
For this first game back, and it's worked out really well for Coach Hutchcraft.
Jada Pickens. Two and a half to go in the first half. Clardy to Pickens. King, entry pass to Savannah Scott. Easy off the glass and in. 42-15. It is all Lady Cats.
The wingspan's so impressive. Her teammates know with a lot of confidence that they can put that ball up there, and Savannah's going to find a way to go up and get it.
Turnover. Stark stepped out of bounds right in front of the Conway bench. 2 minutes to play in the first half. It has been all Lady Cats. Pickens. Ball knocked away, trying to find Haley Malcolm. Travel. Turnover against the Lady Wildcats.
Just can't stop thinking about how proud I am of this Conway team. There was a stretch when they were without 2 of their starters, and it did not look like they were a number 2 seed, but they held it together. They came back, they finished strong, including an impressive performance on Friday night. They trailed by a point at halftime against the Bryant team here, and Coach Hutchcraft lit a fire under them. That third quarter, they pulled away and earned this 2 seed, earned that bye. Gave Savannah Scott another game, another opportunity to rest a little bit more. Finding a way to work her in tonight. They've looked like a 2 seed tonight.
The difference in that was truly 24 additional hours of rest the Bryant game that Conway would have they fallen to the 5? No, what would have Conway been?
The Lady Cats?
Yeah, the Lady Cats.
I think they would have been the 3.
They would have just dropped to 3. Okay.
Because I think they still had the tiebreaker.
That's right. So if they would have been the 3 seed, they would have played this afternoon. So regardless, it was more rest. I was really trying to make a great point.
Yeah.
That I realized in the midst of it.
Well, and
wasn't a great point.
But it's still a better path getting that 2 seed.
Yes, it is.
Even if you are playing on the same day.
Line. She's got 13 in the first half. Good look at Jada. I tell you, there's Coach Rogers. The track meet in Benton tonight, just down the interstate a little bit. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you checking in.
Saline County hopping tonight.
Justin. You know Justin. Justin King, our social media guy.
I do know him.
Does a great job. And he takes a lot of pictures, great photographer, and then builds our social media posts that we have that people like so much. And I've noticed there have been at least 2, maybe 3 different photos of Jada Pickens where he has caught her in full action. I mean, it is dribbling the ball down the court, going for a steal, and she has got the biggest smile on her face. I love it. She loves to play this game, and it is shown tonight. Great first half for Jada. She gets to go to the bench for this final minute of the first half. To the left hand, the basket is good by Nelson, and it's 43-19. T. Rector. Alex Jolivet has checked in. She can't control the pass. It goes out of bounds. Har-Ber will have it.
The other thing that has really cracked me up these final few minutes of the first half is watching Coach Hutchcraft. She doesn't look like her team's up 43-19. The way she's still just coaching them hard, getting upset when they make a mistake.
Stolen away that time, no mistake there. Chloe Clardy intercepts the pass. Soft off the glass and in. First field goal of the night for the Lady Cats leading scorer. And it's the 44th and 45th point of the first half for the Lady Cats. Nelson with the basket. What a first half. Conway goes to the halftime locker room, leading 45-21. It is time now for the Conway Regional Health System halftime show. In this halftime show, you'll see a report that I put together just the last couple of days about the Conway boys swim and dive team that won a state title last week. A couple of interviews with some of their swimmers, a couple of seniors, and also with their coach, Craig Connor. So watch for that, and we'll be back with the third quarter. It's coming up. Lady Cats rolling on Conway Court.
You don't wake up thinking about internet speed, electricity, reliability. Your mind isn't on advanced treatment facilities or customizable systems. You don't have to think about any of these things because we do. Conway Corp. Always on.
A 3-decade drought came to an end in the water last week when the Conway Wampus Cats boys swim team won its first state title in 32 years. After finishing the last 3 seasons close to the top, it was a perfect storm of circumstances that came together for the Cats to win, according to head coach Craig Connor.
A lot of things have to go right to win a state championship. It doesn't matter how much talent you have. It's everybody coming together at the right moment. It's just the rest of the state, how the caliber of swimmers that they have, and I just feel like this team, after coming so close 3 years in a row. We knew what we had to do, and just our seniors motivated everybody to do their part. I mentioned last year, I wrote the number 450 up on the board, and I said, guys, this is what we have to do to win the state championship. What's your part in that? And I think they all took it to heart, because in this sport, the guy that gets 13th in the 50 free is just as important as the guy that gets first, because we're talking about 2-3 points when it comes down to it. And everybody really bought into that, bought into the senior leadership, and I just couldn't be more proud of them.
We asked Coach Connor, what role did those seniors play in the championship?
It can't even be stated enough. Our two seniors, Ty Wingfield and Ethan Marat, gave a pregame speech, if you will, beforehand. Unfortunately, I didn't get to hear it because I was with one of our divers in the ER, but I think it just really shows just the younger guys how much passion and dedication that they have to our program. And I think the younger guys really want to, they really want to do well for these seniors. A lot of them have been around for a while as well, and they wanted to send these seniors out on a high note. And I just couldn't be more proud of our seniors. They've done an incredible job this year. I mean, it's like it with any sport. You rely on your senior leadership, and teams that don't have senior leadership, they struggle because, teenagers don't listen to adults a lot, but they listen to each other. And with this team, we never had to worry about that with guys like Ty and Ethan and Jeffrey Bloomfield and Gavin Teague. They just, at every turn, they knew what we needed to do, and they were just ready to make it happen.
One of those seniors, Ty Wingfield, reached an individual goal that he had set his freshman year to set the state record in the 50.
After I broke the state record, the first thing that went through my head after, really, it didn't set in at first. And after a few seconds of looking at it and realizing that I had just broken the state record, and it had been my goal ever since my freshman year of high school, it was pretty crazy. I kind of started screaming and yelling, and everybody was laughing at me, but it was pretty exciting.
Wingfield will swim collegiately at Auburn University. His classmate Ethan Marat will also swim in college. He'll swim for Swarthmore in Philadelphia. He said the coach's leadership and sacrifice made the difference.
Well, we are fortunate to have the best coaching staff, I think, in Arkansas. Connor has come in countless times to the pool, eyes bloodshot, because he's stayed up all night looking at the spreadsheets. And Coach Mannion has had to drive the bus down and back to countless cities, and I know that's really hard. So, and he's been our moral support through every single meet. Both of them have been such great coaches, and we couldn't have done it without them.
Congratulations to Coach Connor and the Wampus Cats on the state title. For Conway Corp, I'm Jeff Matthews.
Education is all about vision. It requires commitment, investment. So we pour ourselves into Conway students and teachers, schools, and scholarships. A brighter future? Now that's powerful. Conway Corp. Always on. We don't schedule the appointments, but we connect them. We don't read the x-rays, but we stream them. We don't handle the procedures, but we power them. Here's to running the things that make business run smoothly. Conway Corp. Always on.
And as we get back underway here in the start of the third quarter, 45-21, Lady Cats up big. Chloe Clardy scores in the first 6 seconds as if halftime never occurred.
Oh man, she's ready to have the hot hand.
Gets the steal there. Open lane to the basket. 21 seconds and 4 points for Chloe Clardy.
That's just the kind of night it's been for these Lady Cats, shooting 62% overall in the first half, 63% from the three-point line, which is, I mean, when they're doing that, when they're doing that, it's just you can't keep pace with them. It's just impossible.
Coons with the basket.
They're winning the rebounding battle, winning the turnover battle, 11-5. It's just been the near impeccable first half for these Lady Cats. I imagine Coach Hutchcraft telling them in the locker room probably the same thing she was saying on the sideline the entire first half. Stop reaching in. 10 fouls called against your Lady Cats in the first half, and 10 against Har-Ber as well. So it was just, that's the kind of game we had.
49-23. The winner gets Bentonville in the state semifinals. Front of the rim, no good. Lydia York there to get the rebound. Jump ball or a foul? Yep, jump ball. Possession arrow points the other way. So we will go to Springdale Har-Ber's end here.
Chloe Clardy's like, hey, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't play pretty much the entire first quarter. I got fresh legs.
Legs are fresh, ready to go. Let's play some hoops. 49-23. Starks in the lane. Has it knocked loose, finds Nelson. Whistle and a foul.
Every time they foul now, I'm looking at Coach Hutchcraft.
The other thing that I've noticed about the venue is that there is a definite shade of red that has filled the stands. The game following this will be Cabot and Fort Smith Northside boys.
And
big game.
I gotta imagine neither one of them's probably rooting for Conway.
I wouldn't think so. No. Nelson's second free throw is good. 49-25, 6.5 to play in the third quarter. Lady Cats looking to win and advance. York for three. Rebound. Hamilton. Stolen away. Andrew has it stolen by Chloe Clardy, and she gets to the basket, makes the easy left-handed layup. Coach Hutchcraft with 2 thumbs up for her girls out on the court. Starks for three. Too strong. Lydia York grabbed it, but her toes were on the line.
One of those situations where you just want to grab it, but you probably should just let it go.
Entry pass to Coons. Can't get it to go. We haven't talked a tremendous amount about this facility. I know last night you and Mark Oliver did during the boys' game some, but the one thing that I noticed about it, this is my first trip into it, is that I think they did something here. I don't have this on record, but I believe this is probably the case. I know that as new buildings have been built around the state the last few years, that athletic directors will visit other facilities, talk to athletic directors, what would you do different, what do you like, what are those type of things. And you get the feeling that there are little bits of so many different venues in this venue. And I really think they've done a nice job with it. I like the lower ceiling. I like the dark ceiling.
Yes.
I like the obviously everything is very compact. And so it's a nice facility. They've really done a nice job here. And they needed one. Their old facility was just like an old style gymnasium, similar to what we had 10 plus years ago. But they've done it right. And they are reaping the benefits of that by getting to host this state tournament just a few months after they opened the doors in this facility. 51-28 is our score. We'll take a timeout with the teams on the court. 30 seconds and we're back on Conway Court.
We are Conway's legacy. Just like our family, Conway continues to grow and thrive.
And at Legacy Fencing, we will continue to maintain the level of quality and service that we've provided for the last 2 decades.
From our friendly and helpful office staff to our outstanding installers, to our shop foremen and even our college interns, fencing will not only be our legacy, but yours.
And that's why at Legacy Fencing we say, it's fencing for a lifetime.
51-28, Coach Hutchcraft wanted to do some coaching, so she brought the ladies over there to do some coaching.
And she did. She let them know what was on her mind. She's very good at that.
Pickens. Entry pass to Chloe Clardy. The kick back out to Rector. Good job by T. Rector to get open without the basketball. Helped out her teammate, Jada Pickens. Didn't really get her feet under her that time. The shot was short. And we'll go back the other direction.
Yeah, you could see in the shot her feet were just not quite. They were just kind of unsettled a little bit.
Blocked. Savannah Scott gets the outlet to Chloe Clardy. She got the block and she'll get the basket. Clardy with a quiet 12 points all of a sudden.
Well, she only had 4 in the first half. She's got a quick 8.
Coons in the lane, draws the foul. Looks like they'll get Savannah Scott for it, most likely.
I have noticed Coach Kimberly Jenkins still sitting down.
After the technical foul?
Yeah, she went to halftime, came out, decided I'm still going to sit down, just in case.
And obviously the rule is the head coach can be on their feet, moving back and forth and coaching, but any assistant coaches, obviously any players, are supposed to be seated the majority of the time. Obviously sometimes there's something exciting that happens that gets them off their seat and onto their feet, but for the most part it's just supposed to be the starting or the head coach that can be on their feet during the course of the game. But you're right, on the Har-Ber end there is no one who's standing. What a play by Savannah Scott. The ball was just about out of bounds. She was able to save it. She finds Clardy. Clardy gets the basket.
I've really been watching just for her agility, her footwork. She's made some really athletic moves under the basket, just forced down there, some things she's had to do. That ankle seems as close to 100% as I would have expected it to be.
And that was, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was thinking, we talked about her not being in the lineup for so long, but I don't know if we've made enough of a deal about what the injury was. It was a badly sprained ankle that happened during that Bryant game. So, yeah, you're right. She's not moving gingerly. She's moving with confidence, and she'll get back into basketball endurance. And well, she's going to come back for what are hopefully going to be 3 more very, very big basketball games for this Lady Cat team. She'll have a seat after getting some minutes, and Haley Malcolm will check in. Lady Cat basketball. T. Rector will throw it in. If you're back in Conway, or if you're, I know yesterday you guys had somebody from Brazil who was watching on the stream.
I know.
Wherever you may be watching tonight, let us know on the YouTube chat. Certainly welcome to join us there, or on Twitter, 5 Sports Live, Facebook, 5 Sports.
Bryant News checking in with us on Twitter, saying Conway has a great arena too. Thanks for complimenting Hornets Arena. It's great.
Yeah, no, your building is beautiful. This entire campus has really undergone quite a transformation. Talking to one of the ladies who were working in front of the hospitality room, the cafeteria across the way here, and they were pointing out all of the new buildings that have been built and they've opened recently, and it's a beautiful facility. 57-30. Jada Pickens can't get it quite to fall. Whistle and a foul. Haley Malcolm will be whistled for it. This is definitely one of those moments that you're glad you don't have the 8:30 game, because it is 8:45 and there's still 2:45 to play in the third quarter here. It is going to be close to an hour late probably.
Now the Lady Cats could help out with this if they can get that lead up just 3 more points.
Now that's true. Thank you, Levi. Always finding the positive.
Trying to stay positive. Of course, the sportsmanship rule is still valid even in the state tournament.
Coons for 3. She clearly doesn't care when the next game starts. She's trying to keep it within 30. Kaylin Coons is their best player. Having some fun with that comment, obviously, but she's good. She's really good. 24 in the first meeting. She scored 21 yesterday. And she has, it's a name that we will hear a lot. She's just a sophomore. Lydia York for 3. Fighting for the rebound, and there will be a whistle going back the other way. Jada Pickens will be called for the foul. That's her third, so she joins Lydia York, T. Rector, and Chloe Clardy, all with 3 personal fouls on the court. That's the 6th team foul, so free throws the rest of the way for Har-Ber.
And this quarter has really shown me just how, reminded me just how explosive Chloe Clardy can be.
Yes.
Jada Pickens was leading the way with 14 points. I think she had 12 in the first half. Clardy only had 4. Now she's got 16.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Coons for 3. Another good look at it. Front of the rim, no good. T. Rector. That's Chloe. The step back, top of the lane, 3, no good. (57-33). Out of bounds, going to go the other way. Again, with a victory tonight, the Lady Cats will play on Saturday at noon. Saturday at noon against Bentonville. The Wampus Cats saw Caleb London at halftime. And some of the other Wampus Cat players walking by. Had a chance to visit with him for just a second. They play tomorrow at 5:30 against North Little Rock. That'll be a foul.
And the way things are going, definitely looks like we're going to have a game on Saturday as well. At least
That's right.
one game.
At least one. And
maybe it could be 2.
And it would be a split, like a day-night doubleheader, if you will. The girls with a victory, of course, playing Saturday at noon. If the boys get a victory tomorrow night, then they would play Saturday night at 7:30. So it could be a day full of basketball in Saline County. It will be regardless, but there's a chance Conway could be involved in
Yeah, we're sure
2
hoping
games. Oh, goodness.
that we'll be here for it.
Yes. We appreciate you watching back home or wherever you are, rooting for the Wampus Cats and the Lady Cats. We're in our 19th season of doing these games. And, you know, they start to run together after a while, and you start looking back, and you're like, this team went to 4 out of 5 finals.
Yeah.
It just became second. You felt like it was what they were going to do. They were going to win a couple of games wherever the tournament site was, and you booked your trip to Hot Springs.
I think I was reading one of last year's. Oh, it was a tweet from last year on my time hop today. The Lady Cats had been to 6 straight semifinal games. It's crazy.
Jada Pickens for 3. One about as far down as it can go without going through. Pickens with the steal. She was trying to get the outlet to Lydia York, who would have only been contested by cheerleaders and our camera girl, Maggie. The only people that could have possibly stopped her, but none of them are eligible to play in tonight's game. So Lydia had a wide open lane.
True fact, Maggie is leading Conway Corp employees with blocks.
Is she?
Yes.
Excellent.
Blocked shots. See what I did there?
I got,
Double
oh
meaning.
yes, yeah, the shots, because she's on the camera. We've had a great crew. It's been a fun basketball season, and like we talked about, we hope we got a few more days of basketball to still go. Final 15 seconds. Third quarter. Lady Cats up big, 59-35. Down to 5. Jada Pickens stops, shoots, no good. And that's going to end the third quarter. Our scores, we go to the fourth, 59-35. Lady Cats lead big. We've got 8 minutes to go. 60 seconds, and we're back on Conway Court.
In 1916, Smith Ford opened its doors in Conway and began building a legacy that today is over a century old and still going strong. Now let's put this into perspective. When Smith Ford started out, their cars looked like this. Today, they look like this. Outstanding customer service. At Smith Ford, they don't just say it, they define it. You just don't live to see 100 unless you're living right, eating right, or selling right. Smith Ford has been doing all three since 1916.
From setting the budget to signing the papers, we guide you through the home buying process and get you the key. Making better happen with First Security.
Lady Cats are 8 minutes away from another trip to the state semifinals. Bentonville awaits the winner of this game, and that Bentonville squad is good. That's the team that ended Conway's season a year ago. It was up in Northwest Arkansas at Centertown at Bentonville West. They are awaiting the winner of this one. 8 minutes away from it being the Lady Cats, unless something really incredible happens.
And that's a Bentonville team that was just mere seconds away from a state championship a year ago.
Jersey Wolfenbarger from Northside hitting the game-winning shot at the buzzer. 5-second violation. Go back the other way.
Lady Cats shooting went a little cold in that third quarter, at least from the perimeter. They were 5 of 8 at halftime. They're still stuck on that 5 mark, 5 of 14 after 3 quarters.
Both teams scored 14 points in the third quarter. Lady Cats are on an unbelievable pace. Slowed down a little bit, but they've got the big lead, and so.
Tell you who did have a good third quarter. It's that one right there.
Number 13, yeah.
Chloe Clardy.
Having a good start to the fourth quarter.
She had 4 points at halftime. She's now at 19.
Basket is good by McDaniel. She draws the foul. Yeah, 19 points for Chloe Clardy. 15 of them here in the second half. She's averaging almost 22 a game. And you know, we'll talk about her and Lydia York and the time that they had to be off the court because of the early foul trouble. But it cannot be mentioned enough the work that Maya Boxley, Kalena King, both coming in early and helping when this team needed help. They had to put 5 on the court, and two of their starters were on the bench. Maya Boxley found herself coming in much earlier than normal. She hit a big 3. Kalena King getting some important minutes as well. So you've been watching this while I've been making some notes here. What exactly has happened?
I think they just called a technical foul on Jada Pickens. That's her 4th foul. Not even sure what happened. It was kind of, from our angle, blocked by the base of the goal.
The official and Jada both. Oh, no, Jada's talking. From that angle, it looked like she was also talking to Coach Hutchcraft, but she was talking to a teammate on the bench. And I saw Coach Hutchcraft look at the official and mouth what happened. So she got some sort of explanation, but free throws coming here for Coons. And it's 62-39. So after all of that, it was the 4th personal foul with that technical. So Jada Pickens going to have to be careful or she'll foul out. Gets the steal there. She just threw a bullet from about 5 feet into the hands of Chloe Clardy. Clardy with the catch and the easy basket. 64-39.
Well, you mentioned it earlier, Jeff, just the enthusiasm that Jada Pickens plays with.
Yes.
And even after whatever happened over there, she got a technical for. You didn't see her get angry. You didn't see her.
She didn't sulk.
Yeah, get too high or too low. She was just over by her coach, smiling, trying to pick up her team. And you need that kind of leadership from a senior, especially on a team that has been so freshman and sophomore dependent throughout stretches this season.
Saw another one of those senior leaders, Lydia York. She walked down back to the bench as the free throws were happening. Clardy will find Lydia York. A little short on that three-point attempt. She had a couple when she came in the game at the start of the second quarter, following sitting out most of the first quarter with the foul trouble. Nelson with the follow won't go. Out of bounds, going to go the other way. So 6 minutes remain. Lady Cats on top 64-39. Loose ball, going to be over and back. Yeah, it's a good timeout. I think they just need to everybody in the timeout chair, just about 30 seconds, then we'll be all right. We'll take a break with them. 30 seconds and we're back on Conway Court.
Helton's Wrecker U-Haul has the service you need. Whatever the automotive problem, Helton's has the diagnostics to repair it. If you're moving across town or across country, Helton's is your #1 choice for U-Haul in Conway. We have a wide selection of packing supplies for every aspect of your move. Also, we sell and install hitches. Call 327-4696 for a quote. At Helton's Wrecker U-Haul, we are always on our toes. Give us a call at 327-7681.
See the visiting student section on the far end. They are not wearing Har-Ber's colors. They are wearing the colors of Cabot. Cabot will be taking on Fort Smith Northside in the next game. A couple of Central teams who are battling for a spot in the semifinals. Nelson to the left hand, no good. Followed by Pacious McDaniel, it won't fall.
Talking about those Cabot boys, impressive win last night for them.
Yes.
As a 6 seed. Upsetting number 3 was Rogers, right?
They beat Rogers by 1, 42-41.
That Rogers team earlier in the season, they were on a tear.
Yes. Foul was actually called on Haley Malcolm. First they said Kalena King, or excuse me, they said T. Rector, but it was Haley Malcolm, so she fouls out in tonight's game.
And you still have 3 other Lady Cats with 4 fouls. Lydia York, Jada Pickens, and T. Rector.
T. Rector also with 4.
Well, that timeout didn't help much with the focus.
There's just some sloppy basketball being played here. We just got to get to the end. And they had a chance to get to that 30-point plateau, but didn't quite get there. And at this pace, they're going to have to play out the whole fourth quarter. They were up 27 at one point. Just a 3-pointer away from making it a 30-point lead. The Coons hit a 3-pointer to make it a little bit closer, and Conway hasn't been able to get it stretched back out. So there is the 5th on T. Rector. Kalena King is in.
I think what's really happening here is everyone's saying, can we make this last game start an hour late? Can we do it?
It's 8:57 in real time. There will be about 12 minutes between games. And that's rough. There's usually a couple of minutes that they take before the start the 12-minute clock. Although they might look at each other and go, you ready? You ready? All right. Tip it up. Let's go. But no, they will. They'll put the 12 minutes on the clock, give the teams a chance to get their entire warm-up. Jada Pickens extra steps. Thought she steps out of bounds, but she didn't travel on Jada. So, yeah, at this point, we still have 5.5 to go of a non-running clock. That's probably about 10 more minutes of basketball. I bet you they start before 9:30.
It's going to be close.
It will be close. I mean, I'm not willing to really bet you, but, you know, fun fake bet you.
I'll bet you my lunch money.
Nice. Like back in the day. What year did you graduate? This is always a fun game.
2006.
Okay, and I graduated in 88, so we would not have gone to school together.
That's that father-son dynamic we're going for
That's
here.
exactly what it is. Why can't I just be your uncle? Old Uncle Jeff. Chloe Clardy. Can't get it to fall. Savannah Scott is so confident, and you just know. We talked about it with T. Rector, which hit that 15-footer from the elbow. You know Savannah Scott has taken thousands of shots from the baseline, from the block, from the lane. She knows exactly where she is on the court as soon as she gets the basketball down close, and it's just muscle memory. It is good to have her back. And the experience that Haley Malcolm has picked up in the month of February is going to pay huge dividends for this team as we go down to the end of the season. Potentially 2 more games. A win tonight, and the Lady Cats are in the state semifinals. McDaniel loses it to King. Jada Pickens smiling all the way to a layup. Got it. 18 points for Jada Pickens.
She had 24 here on Friday, and she just picked back up where she left off here in Bryant.
Timeout taken by Har-Ber. 68-45. Lady Cats up big. We'll take a 30-second timeout and come back on Conway Court.
Centennial Bank builds relationships. That's why our bankers roll up their sleeves to support Conway and Faulkner County. They are folks you know and value for mortgages, business loans, and all your personal banking needs. Community involvement and exceptional service from people you know. That's the Centennial Bank way. Centennial Bank's legacy started right here in Conway and is still growing. Centennial Bank, building legacies, one relationship at a time.
Did we just get rickrolled?
Yeah, it's so loud in here, and I don't know if it's that loud at your house, but it's really loud in this arena. And we had Rick Astley, who's never going to give you up. And now, ow. All right, 68-45.
The music has been on point tonight.
They've done a nice job here with the music. I mean, the volume's a little bit loud, but again, as recently was discovered, I graduated in 88, so I'm...
Okay, Boomer Sooner.
I'm telling, yes, I will own that. Got Javon over here. She does the scoreboard stuff, not missing a beat, keeping up with all of that, dancing. 68-45. It has been a fun night to be a Lady Cat fan. Quick timeout called by Coach Hutchcraft. We'll keep it here in hopes that they will play another hit song from the 80s.
I was born in the 80s.
Were you?
When did you say you graduated again?
88.
88. I was born in 87. Almost 88.
So you were born in 87.
At the end, December.
So I was in my senior year. I was in my senior year of high school when you were born.
And you just didn't know 30 years later.
So I was in Enid, Oklahoma. Where were you?
Clarksville, Arkansas. In my house. Born in my home.
You were not.
I was. I swear.
I didn't know that.
Born in a recliner, I believe.
If you were born, in fact, chime in on the YouTube chat. Where were you born? I was born in the old, it wasn't called, I don't think it was called Conway Regional then. Whatever, somebody that's watching that has a better memory of Conway in 1970 than I do. What was the name of the hospital? Conway, it was Conway Memorial maybe? It wasn't Conway Regional, but anyway, it was right there. That's where I was born. And you were born in a recliner.
In a recliner, yeah.
In Clarksville. All right, well, yeah, chime in. We're up 68-45, so we're talking about where were you born?
The midwives barely got there.
Doulas? Were doulas involved? Isn't that a thing, a doula?
It's a thing now. It's like it's like chic now, but back in the 80s, it was just out of necessity.
Kalena King gets the basket and a steal. Nope, stayed on this end. We'll get to focusing back on basketball unless you tell us where you were born.
They've been hovering. They had a 24-point lead at halftime. It was still 24 points after the third quarter. It's up to 25 now.
Three-pointer by Starks.
Back down to 22.
Steve Beal chiming in, asking us to request Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time. We'll send that down.
Well, they did play the theme song from Beverly Hills Cop earlier.
So
that was Eddie Murphy-ish.
Yeah, in the realm of Eddie Murphy. Fifth personal foul on Jada Pickens, so she will have to have a seat. Maya Boxley is going to get a chance to come back in here.
It's now 10 fouls in the second half. He had 20 fouls called against this Conway team.
And they stopped counting the team fouls at 10, so there maybe could have been more than that. There is another one, so that's at least 11 in this half. Chloe Clardy, her fourth.
At the line, Patience McDaniel.
I might have to give you my lunch money. I mean, the way this is going, all these fouls.
Zachary Clifton checking in on the YouTube chat.
Yes.
He was born in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Very good. All right, thank Zachary Clifton, viewer of the night at this point.
We'll be going to Jonesboro in the fall.
We will. Football will be taking us there. New look to the schedule for the Wampus Cats. Fayetteville comes on board as a non-conference. Fayetteville and Bentonville in weeks 1 and 2. Both of those games will be at home this year. And then on the road at Jonesboro in week 3. Then the bye week. And what is officially, I guess, week 3, as they call it, the fourth game of the season will be a bye for the Wampus Cats in the fall.
It's been a weird second half, Jeff.
That's a good word for it. And I know Coach Hutchcraft is just like, get us to the finish line. Lady Cats will play the early game on Saturday. It will be noon. And that is the first game of the day, so it will start at noon. There will be no delayed start. We'll have the broadcast for you live. You can't make it down here to Hornet Arena, then definitely check our broadcast live on Channel 5 and 585 and online, conwaycorp.com/WC2Go. Good hustle by Starks, goes out of bounds.
We'll be here at least at noon.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens in tomorrow night's Wampus Cat game against North Little Rock at 5:30. We might be here in the evening as well on Saturday.
For a 7:30 start. That's when the boys would play in their semifinal game. Double team on Clardy. Whistle. They're going to get Chloe Clardy for it. That is her fifth. How? I don't know how that was against Chloe, and I don't want to sound like one of those announcers. Well, the official is describing at least what she saw that she did. Great shot there. Alex Jolivet's going to come in. Chloe Clardy's out.
It's number 5 on Clardy.
Yeah.
We've had, 3 Lady Cats, 4 Lady Cats foul out now.
Clardy, Rector,
and Malcolm.
Pickens, and Malcolm.
And Lydia York has 4 as well. They're just hanging on.
A chance for all 5 starters to foul out of a game that you're going to win by nearly 20 points.
Ball's in your court, Lydia.
McDaniels had a nice second half at the free throw line. She's got 14 points now. And a steal. And a basket. And it's down to 14 points.
Yeah, all joking aside, it gets a little dicey here because your main ball handlers are all on the bench with fouled out.
Lydia York. Just over the front of the rim. Big basket. Lady Cats needed that just to get some points on the board and a little bit of positive offensive momentum. Kalena King with the steal. Kalena tripped up, no call. Going back the other way for Har-Ber, just inside the free throw line. Starks can't get it. Scott, she's moving gingerly. Gets the steal. Watch Savannah Scott. Timeout. Coach Hutchcraft wants to take one. Let's see if Savannah comes off the court. Timeout taken by the Lady Cats. We will take it with the teams on the court. 30 seconds, and we are back live tonight in Bryant on Conway Court.
Hey, welcome to David's. I'm Alan Bubbas, and this is my father, David Bubbas. We want to welcome you in to try our great beef, grade A choice chuck that you can see in display, all you can eat fries, and a little ice cream at the end. Come experience some of the cutest kids. Bring your cute kids too. We'd love to serve you. At David's Burgers, we're proud supporters of the Call in Arkansas.
And you can find out more online about ways to get involved.
Just under a minute to play in the game. Lady Cats on a timeout there. Jay Stang, he was born in Little Rock. Go Rockets!
Go Rockets!
Catholic, that's all right.
Come on.
We can root for the Catholic High School Rockets. Steve Beal has also chimed in. He too was born in Jonesboro. St. Bernard's Hospital, to be exact. Yes, we're talking about where you were born tonight. And really, us talking about that kind of fits in line with everything else that's happened tonight. It's just been kind of an odd second half.
It has been indeed. These Lady Cats struggling against this full court press because most of their ball handlers been on the bench, fouled out.
Maya Boxley to Alex Jolivet. Less than 45 seconds, coming up on 45 seconds. Lady Cats just trying to get to the finish line here. Jolivet. That's an intentional foul. So 2 free throws coming up for Alex Jolivet. And then the Lady Cats will get the basketball. 4th on McDaniel. So Alex Jolivet, sophomore sharpshooter, will get a chance to shoot. That's the 5th on McDaniel, so she is out of the game.
You don't see that a lot. Coach Hutchcraft down there and Coach Johnson as well having to coach their players. No, you can't be on this side of the court.
Yeah. Jolivet hits the second, and Conway will keep possession of the ball. Just under 40 seconds to play. Lady Cats are going to win. It's taken more of an effort here in the second half than I think that they had expected, but give credit to Har-Ber. They've won 21 games this year, so you knew it wasn't going to be an entire cakewalk. Lady Cats have had to battle a lot, namely foul trouble. But they have done a nice job to get to the end of this one. Just 20 more seconds, and they will punch their ticket for the state semifinals, a game against Bentonville at noon on Saturday. Lydia York, the only starter who hasn't fouled out of the game. I wish I was kidding. That's a fact. Final 10 seconds. Starks on the baseline. She gives it up to Nelson underneath, and that's going to do it. Final score, 73-56. Lady Cats win and move on to take on Bentonville on Saturday at noon. We will have that game for you live, noon start again on Saturday. Tomorrow, the Wampus Cats will be playing. 5:30 start for their game, 5:30 against North Little Rock. We're going to wrap it up here as there's another game to go. We've got some folks that need this broadcast position, so we will see you tomorrow right back here from Hornet Arena with Conway Corp.